Hey guys, welcome to Tyson's Fitness Tips podcast. If you want to lose weight, increase your energy, improve your health and fitness, and look your best, then you have come to the right place. My name is Tyson Brown. I'm a personal trainer, and my job is to help you transform your body by sharing with you the most up-to-date information on health and fitness. I'm going to distill it all down for you into bite-sized actionable steps that you can take immediately to see results quickly. Now, every Tuesday and Thursday, you can expect a brand new episode, which will be a mixture of interviews with top experts from around the world in the fitness space, and as well as solo episodes from myself, sharing with you exactly what action steps you need to take to transform your health, your body, and your life. Also, don't forget to listen all the way to the end of the show, because in the middle, I'm going to share with you a time-saving tip, and it might just be a game changer. I know you're short on time, and this one can save you a lot of time and a lot of energy. So, let's get into the show. What's going on, guys? It is Tyson Brown here, back with another episode of Tyson's Fitness Tips. Now today, I've decided to bring on someone who's not an expert in fitness and nutrition, but more someone you can relate to in regards to being a busy guy, because James is a business owner. James has a busy lifestyle at the moment, and I wanted to bring him to get his insights on to how he is able to manage his health and fitness, and more importantly, how he manages his sleep, because James actually owns a sleep company. So, James, welcome to the show. I really appreciate you coming on.
Tyson, thank you for having me. Great to be here.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself first of all, James, just so people can get a better idea about what you actually do and, you know, the kind of busy lifestyle you lead at the moment.
Well, I'm a guy from Brisbane. I live in Los Angeles most of the time, sometimes in New York. I kind of live a laptop lifestyle. I have two e-commerce businesses. I help people sleep better via my sleep company, Swanwick Sleep, and I help social drinkers quit alcohol via my 30-day no alcohol challenge program. I'm the host of my podcast, The James Swanwick Show, in iTunes, which has been around almost 4 years now. I coach entrepreneurs on how to be better entrepreneurs. So I got a lot of things going on, it's true. And I do it all while traveling the world. I like to be location independent. I don't like to be stuck in one place at any one time. I guess that sounds pretty busy. I've got some good systems and processes in place where I guess I'm busy traveling, but I've got a good team now that can execute on certain tasks within those businesses. But I certainly do prioritize my health while I do all of those things. I make sure that I get 7 or 8 hours of quality sleep every night. I make sure that I exercise at least 6 times a week. I follow the 80-20 rule, where I eat well 80% of the time and I eat crap food 20% of the time. And generally I would consider myself to be a pretty fit, active 42-year-old man.
That's awesome. And like you said, one key thing I think you said there is about having those systems and processes in place to actually allow you to be able to exercise, to be able to eat right, to be able to get your sleep. And I think it's a crucial thing that a lot of us miss as a part of trying to structure into our week type of thing if we don't plan to prepare ahead. So when it comes to that, what type of systems do you have in place at the moment to try? Do you actually schedule it in your calendar to say this is the time you're going to exercise?
I've experimented with that over the years, where I put it in the calendar and then I adhere to it. But generally speaking, I don't do that anymore. I have to exercise in the morning. That is just a gimme for me. I have a genetic disposition towards morning exercise. The moment it goes past midday, I'm like, I don't want to do it. I'm too tired. I got too much stuff on. It's a pain in the ass. But I in the morning, anytime, preferably kind of within starting to exercise within the first couple of hours of waking up, is when I like to do it. I don't schedule it in my calendar. I just have built the muscle, so to speak, now, where it's like I know what I'm doing. I know I'm going to be exercising in those first 2 hours. Now, because I'm traveling, Tyson, and sometimes I got early morning meetings, sometimes the exercise might just be doing 100 straight burpees in my hotel room. I might wake up, stretch a little bit. 100 burpees takes me about 8 minutes, 8.5 minutes, and then that's it for the day. Other times If I'm staying in a hotel with a gym, I'll go down to the gym and work out. Other times, if I'm in a city I haven't been in before and I want to get an idea of my surroundings, I'll go for a jog, like a 45-minute run, which doesn't really do much for you physically, other than it just makes you feel good, and it gives me a good opportunity to get out and get sunlight. So, I don't schedule it per se, but I do it in the morning, no matter what.
Okay, so it's kind of like one of the first priority things you would do in the morning, even though it's not scheduled, and you still make sure if you're going to knock it out, it's one of the first things you do before you kind of kickstart your day.
Absolutely, yeah, without a doubt. I mean, sometimes I'll wake up and I'll do work for a couple of hours and then I'll go to the gym. Sometimes I'll wake up and I'll go to the gym and then I'll work. Sometimes I'll wake up, have a cup of coffee, and then I'll go to the gym. Sometimes I'll wake up, go to the gym, and then have a cup of coffee. I mean, it kind of just varies. I'm not so strict and so regimented about it, the start time, other than it must be in the morning.
Okay, cool. I like that approach. So get it done in the morning whenever you can, but just make sure it's in the morning. So I guess a takeaway for people is find out when you're most incentivized to actually exercise and get it done as when you can do it.
Yeah, there's a quiz actually that a friend of mine who's America's top sleep doctor, his name is Dr. Michael Bruce, and he wrote a book called The Power of When. And I think if you go to powerofwhen.com/quiz or powerofwhen quiz or something like that, you can actually fill out that questionnaire, and it'll spit out a report which will tell you what time of day you should exercise, whether that's early morning, late morning, early afternoon, or evening. It's quite interesting. Like it can literally, based on your answers, determine, you're genetically, genetically speaking, you should work out in the evening, or genetically speaking, you should work in the morning. He just spoke at the Bulletproof conference in Pasadena, California, a couple of weeks ago, and I was in the audience watching him, and he very kindly mentioned my main sleep product, those Swannies blue light blocking glasses. But he said that as a show of hands, who here has to work out in the morning, and if it's in the afternoon, nobody can do it. And I put up my hand straight away, and I was shocked to see there was probably about 20% of the room were just like me as well. So it really is a genetic thing. So, for me, I have to do it in the morning or I just won't want to do it. And I've created that muscle.
Interesting. Actually, guys, I'm going to put a link to that quiz because I have done the quiz and I've actually read the book, and it's a very, very awesome book that I suggest you pick up. It's called The Power of When. Basically, it can tell you how to optimize your life based on your chronotype. So it's very, very cool. James, just a quick question in regards to that. When if you said you have to work out in the morning, so I'm actually a lion and I love to work out in the morning, but he says I should actually try and push it off into the afternoon. Did he say anything about what the best type of person is to exercise in the morning?
I'm not sure in terms of whether it was a lion, a bear, or a dolphin, I'm not sure what the other one was. Lion, wolf. Dolphin, wolf, was it? Yeah. I'd have to refamiliarize myself with the results, so I can't speak to that. What I can say is that someone else who specializes in chronotypes told me about 3 years ago, James, you should definitely exercise mid-afternoon, like around 3 p.m. And I said, dude, I'm not going to do that. I hate it. I won't do it. I just know myself. And he said, just try it for 30 days. And so I did. I did try it for 30 days. And Tyson, I hated it. Like, I hated everything about it. I just felt awful at 12 o'clock. I felt awful at 2:30. At 2:30, I didn't want to go to the gym. It was like I took so much more willpower to have to go to the gym at 3. And it just kind of disrupted my whole day. So, sometimes even if the doctors and everyone are telling you, you should definitely do it mid-afternoon, I'm just going to trust my body. I'm going to trust how I feel about it. And for me, it's morning.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think for most people too, once they get it done in the morning, they can kind of focus on everything else for the rest of the day. And that excuse of I'm too busy, or I'm too tired, or something else comes up, won't actually come up.
Well, they've done studies also that show that people who exercise in the morning sleep better. They did a study at Apacalan University, and I think it's in New Mexico, and they did a study group of people who exercised early morning, early afternoon, and then evening. And what they found was that the people who exercised in the morning slept longer and had reported better quality of sleep. Couple reasons why that might be the case. People who exercise in the morning tend to be more consistent with it because it's first thing in the morning. There aren't as many distractions. You get it done. If you get it done, then you're healthier, right? Your health is going to be better, which would make sense that you would sleep better. The other thing is, even if you did exercise regularly in the evening, and just to say you exercise as much as people who exercised in the morning, the problem with that is that your core body temperature rises when you do heavy exercise in the evening. And as we now know, the best sleeping environment is a cool environment. In fact, we want our bedrooms to be about 65 degrees Fahrenheit. That's about the perfect temperature for sleep. And the problem is, if you're exercising at like 8, 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night, and then you're coming home having a hot shower, and then you're cooling down for a little bit, but then you crawl into bed, your core body temperature is still high. And so maybe you're not sleeping as well as you could be. So, take that as you will. For me, I like that study, and it makes sense to me. So I'm just gonna keep rolling with the morning exercise.
Yeah, nice one. I have to join you on that one. I think it's a really good idea. I love my morning exercise. So in regards to that though, James, so you've talked a little bit about with exercise, that's like one essential thing you do about 6 times a week, and obviously that's a mixture between weights and jogging and a little bit of everything.
Yeah, it is. So, for example, as we're recording this, I'm in Brisbane, in Australia, and I'm staying with my mother at the moment in the suburb of Hamilton. And a couple of days ago, I went to the gym. I think it's All Fitness, I think it's called, or something like that. And I signed up there for the gym, and I knew that when I go to that gym, I'll be doing heavy weights. And then there's another gym closer to my mum's home, which is called F45, and that's more circuit training and group training, where it's high intensity cardio, and you're doing about 12 different exercises over a 45-minute period, and you're getting your heart rate up. So just to give you an idea, yesterday morning I went and did the F45, where I did high intensity cardio for 45 minutes and sweated like a madman and felt terrific afterwards. And then this morning, just before I started recording this with you, Tyson, I just went to the All Fitness gym, where I did a very heavy set, where I did chest, 5x5 of heavy chest, and I did some 5x5 of heavy back as well, which is more slower. I didn't sweat as much, but I really put a lot of heavy loads on my chest and my back. And then, tomorrow I'll probably go back and do another F45 high cardio, and then I might just, take the day off on Saturday and go for a walk. And then Sunday I'll do a heavy gym day, and then Monday I might do cardio, or might go for a run. As long as I'm doing something, I'm happy. But I like to balance it between high intensity, light weights, and then, very heavy 5x5. And then, I'll do a jog or two every week.
Okay, cool. I really like that mixture. You're trying to hit all aspects of cardiovascular, strength training, and so it's obviously, I guess we would say, optimizing your health from all perspectives in a way.
Listen, I could probably be doing better with my exercise. I could probably be going harder. I could probably be lifting heavier. I could be doing all those things. But I'm very, very happy, and I'm very comfortable with my exercise routine, because I do it almost every day, and I've got this consistency that's just beautiful. I never go more than 2 days in a row without exercising. I don't remember. I mean, maybe when I've been sick, or when I sprained my ankle about 10 months ago, I went, maybe 4 or 5 days without exercise. But for the most part, I don't really care what I do. As long as I'm doing something 6 days a week, I feel terrific because of that. And I think a lot of people, we stress ourselves out, like I did as well for many years. I'm like, I can't get a six-pack. I just can't get it. I'm like, well, who cares, man? I'm like, I don't care. Like, I feel good. I like exercising. I like the endorphins. I like my muscles. I like my flexibility. If I don't have a six-pack, I'm okay. I'm all right. I'm just going to feel great anyway.
And that's the most important thing about feeling great. And like you said, you've got the energy all the time now, and I'm sure that actually carry over as to how much energy you can focus on your business and give time to that business because you have more energy from the workouts and taking care of your body.
I mean, yeah, it's not just energy, it's clarity. Like the energy is terrific. Like the energy keeps you going, but then the clarity, after you've worked out, you've had a shower, maybe you've had a cup of coffee or you've had a bit of food, you sit down to in nice clean clothes, you open your computer, and you just got clarity. You just pump things out. You work really well. You just like it's. I wouldn't say it's fun. I mean, but it's not hell. You know what I mean? I mean, there are elements of my work which are fun as hell, and I love it. But sometimes, a lot of the time, I'm at a computer and I'm kind of grinding some stuff out, as we all do to get things done. And in those days, I wouldn't say that it's necessarily, wow, this is so fun that I've got to write like 25 autoresponder emails for my email list now. I mean, I wouldn't say that that's super fun, but I would say that I have absolute clarity and focus to perform those arduous tasks or those, not as fun tasks because I just exercised 2 hours earlier, because the endorphins are flowing through me, because I'm like, man, I feel good. I got clarity. I got focus. I'm feeling good. It just gives me that energy and that clarity to push through when, I guess someone else who wouldn't have that energy and clarity might either give up or say, I'll do it tomorrow, or I won't do it as well. So yeah, for me, it's a real energy and clarity booster.
Nice one. I like that. So now that we've touched on the exercise side of things, what about you said you like to follow the 80-20 principle of your nutrition and eating right? When it comes to that, do you have a good healthy breakfast every day? Is there one essential thing that you'll always make sure you have that's nourishing your body when it comes to food?
Yeah, I've changed my nutrition over the years. At the moment, I'm going through a phase where I skip breakfast entirely, and I try to push my first meal of the day past 12 o'clock. So intermittent fasting is what I'm trying to do. So I'm trying to only eat in an 8-hour window and then not eat in a 16-hour window. So if I can have my last meal of the day, around 8 o'clock at night, I'll try not to have my first meal until after 12, which will be exactly 16 hours. And what that does is that it gives you a lot more energy. It makes your metabolism work. It resets your hormones. Studies have shown that it increases your growth hormone, which will keep my muscles nice and big in the gym. And I just find that's really nice. It feels good. I do. Sometimes I get hungry, but I'll have a cup of coffee. I've also started to really push my cup of coffee back later in the morning as well, because I learned recently that your cortisol levels are very high first thing in the morning. Mm-hmm. And then if you drink coffee first thing in the morning, like in the first half an hour, you're pumping more cortisol. You're essentially increasing your cortisol levels even more, because the caffeine spikes your cortisol levels, as I understand it. So rather than wake up and have that first cup of coffee, now I'm waking up and I'm drinking a big tall glass of water. I'll go to the gym and then I'll have a cup of coffee, and then I might wait a little bit more, and then I'll eat some food after that. And that's been a pretty good system for me so far. And then generally speaking, I adhere to kind of like what would be considered a paleo lifestyle, which is I eat a lot of lean meats and fish, lots of vegetables, and then most of the time I avoid bread, pasta, and rice. Although I do okay, I have brown rice sometimes, which is pretty nice. But and potatoes I avoid and try and always substitute them for sweet potatoes. So, having said that, now that I'm back in Brisbane, I did eat a box of barbecue shapes yesterday which I love. And they were delicious. It's my favorite food. So, even though I'm saying, I eat like this and I do this, 20% of the time I eat crap and I love it.
Excellent. And I think I actually like that you share the honesty, because a lot of people, obviously I bring on a lot of fitness people on this podcast, but I always get them to share what exactly, it's not a downfall, but what is your thing that you like to indulge in? And because everyone's got to have that time where they can enjoy themselves. Like, I don't see the way I teach people is you don't stick to a strict diet for the rest of your life. You've got to have that balance between, having some strictness in your life, like you said, the 80-20 approach, but going out to enjoy yourself and have those foods that you actually enjoy. Like, you should never deprive yourself from the things that you indulge, that you like. For another episode of Tyson's Time Saving Tips. And today we're talking about how you can save more time by sleeping faster. Because today we've got James Swanwick on and he's sharing a lot of tips, but I want to share with you some of my top tips. One thing that I found really, really helpful when it comes to sleeping is to making sure my room is as cool as possible by using an aircon. A fan simply didn't cut it, and so I needed to get something that was cooler. And so what I did is I put a little bit of money in and I decided to buy myself an aircon. This way I could make sure every single night my room was between 16 and 18 degrees Celsius, and the biggest change I got was the amount of deep sleep that I was able to have because my room was cooler. So if you think that a fan's enough but you aren't getting enough deep sleep, which can be tracking through monitors like your Fitbit, then making your room even cooler and using an aircon to allow airflow to happen is going to help you sleep a lot more better and get you into more deep sleep. Now when you have more deep sleep, that means that you don't have to sleep as long because you're getting that restorative quality sleep. Another thing I love to use is magnesium powder. That's right. Buy yourself some magnesium citrate and have it with your last meal of the day to help the body relax, recover, and get you a better night's sleep. That is your sleep tip of the day. Let's get back into the episode.
Well, look, I when I was living on Sunset Boulevard, there was a Chevron gas station just down the road from me, and sometimes I just got the urge for some lime chili flavored Cheetos chips, and I was like, I'm going down to get those damn things, and I did, and I ate them, and it was delicious. No, I didn't do it a lot. I did it like maybe once a week, and it felt damn good, and I was okay with that. And I'm okay that I'll never have the super male model, six-pack, abs, ripped, lean, mean, fighting machine kind of look, because I know what it takes to get that, and I'm not willing to do it. And that's great, because I'm happy with the way I've got. I mean, look, would I prefer to carry a little less tummy fat around my abs? Yes, I would prefer that. But it's kind of like like pain and reward. Like, for what I would have to do to get that, I'm not willing to do. There are too many other important things in my life that I'd rather put my focus and energy on. And so I'm happy to eat well 80% of the time, eat shit 20% of the time, and that makes me feel pretty good overall.
I really like that approach because it's coming from a guy who more people can relate to, because, yes, you do want a little bit of less tummy fat, but is it worth the trade-off of having to diligently track your food, make sure you know exactly what you put it into your body, and it's going to take extra work, which is going to take your mental, your mental clarity, your focus and everything else off from other important things that are in your life at the moment, such as business.
Yeah, 1 second. I'm sorry. I've got a little bit of, there we go. I had a little background noise there, Tyson. What I was saying was, look, I put a very high focus on happiness, which I'm sure we all do. The bottom line is this: humans are not designed to be happy. We're designed to survive. So we have to work at our happiness. We actually have to kind of like manipulate our brains in order to get happy. For me, counting calories, measuring my food, getting the percentages of like fats to carbohydrates to proteins, all of that kind of stuff, that's not fun. It doesn't make me happy. Now, it makes other people happy.
Yeah, it makes
people
me happy.
Love. Yeah, it makes you happy, and that's awesome. But it doesn't make me happy. I don't want to do it. I'm not interested in that, right? I'm willing to experiment with it. I've tried it a few times. That's just not for me.
Yep.
But what makes me happy is regular exercise, sunlight, being connected to friends, being location independent, traveling the world, seeing new things, running a business from a computer and a Wi-Fi connection and an iPhone, doing heavy weights one day, doing high intensity cardio the next day, going for a nice jog one day, which people will say does nothing for you. Like a jog does pretty much nothing for you. It doesn't change your body. It doesn't really burn fat. But I find it very meditative. In other words, I think a lot when I do it, and I like just seeing things. It gets me out, and the endorphins afterwards just makes me feel good. But people would say that, physically speaking, a 45-minute low-intensity jog doesn't really burn many calories, doesn't really do much. I don't care. It makes me feel damn good. I am all about my happiness level. I think I look better than most 42-year-olds. I feel better than most 42-year-olds, I would guess, because I do that. And you know what? That's a pretty good structure for me.
That's awesome. I really like that approach, James. And I really appreciate you sharing, just being so honest about it. It's about finding what makes you happy. And even though it's not, like I said, it's the most optimal thing, it's still making yourself happy. And the more happy you are, the better of a lifestyle you're going to have.
Yeah. And the other thing I would say is, as you know, Tyson, I don't drink alcohol. I stopped drinking alcohol in 2010. It was just a lifestyle choice.
Yeah.
I was never an alcoholic. I never drank heavily, but I was having a few drinks during the week and a few more on the weekends. And as soon as I cut that out of my life, man, it was amazing how much my life changed. Like I landed my dream job hosting a TV show, an iconic TV show, actually, Sports Center on ESPN, and I attracted higher caliber people into my life. I got into health and fitness, started a couple businesses. And so, I don't get pleasure from going out to nightclubs and bars and all that kind of stuff. It just doesn't really interest me. Maybe it's just because of my, I'm in my 40s now, so you would think that probably wouldn't interest you as much. But I will say that just feeling good as a result of regular exercise, not drinking, eating well 80-20, man, my life is so much better than what it was than when I was drinking and I wasn't exercising regularly and I wasn't eating particularly well.
Yep, and a lot of people realize that, even though, like you said, you've got the alcohol challenge. People who just stop for a couple of weeks, they realize how much more better they feel when they don't drink. And that's what I said. Like, people say to me, like, how do you not drink? I said, I love the feeling of being able to wake up with clarity in the morning, to feel good, not to hate what I did the night before, and you're just in such a better place. And I'm not saying, like, everyone shouldn't drink, but at the same time, like, you just realize how much more better it is when you don't have that alcohol in your body.
Yeah, well, just literally this morning, Tyson, I accepted my 1,000th member into my 30-day no alcohol challenge VIP Facebook group. So I've probably put maybe 5,000 or 6,000 people through my 30-day no alcohol challenge program. But in terms of the Facebook group, we just welcomed our 1,000th person. It's hard to say that, isn't it? 1,000th.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, someone called Michael Hagel was the 1,000th member. If I was reading through a lot of the people who comment in there, in the Facebook group, a lot of the things that they say is weight loss, like huge amounts of weight loss. I lost 13 pounds, which is about 5 kilos, in 30 days just by giving up alcohol. A lot of people talk about increased energy. A lot of people talk about how their sleep improves dramatically, the quality of their sleep improves dramatically. A lot of people talk about how they reconnect with their parents or their husband or their wife or their kids or their friends. Like they're a lot calmer. They're not as irritable anymore. So, I mean, look, I'm not saying you should give up alcohol entirely, right? Like, I'm just saying maybe you might want to explore giving up alcohol for 30 days just to get a glimpse of what it feels like to live like that, to wake up and not be hungover, to wake up to be, working at your best. And it's amazing how all areas of your life transforms when you do that.
Yeah, and speaking of that, James, like you've talked about your no alcohol challenge. So if people were interested in, going to have a look at that, where would they go to actually find out more about that?
Yeah, if you just go to 30daynoalcoholchallenge.com and you can sign up there. So people who join, Essentially, I give them accountability for 30 days. I will send you a video every day teaching you and coaching you how to not drink for 30 days, what to say to friends when you're out and about and they're encouraging you to have a drink. Because there's a lot of societal pressure, isn't there? Like, oh, come and have a drink after work, or oh, come down the pub, or let's go and, you're at a barbecue or a party or something. It's like you want to drink, and it's just the social norm, isn't it? So I teach people how to, politely decline drinks and still feel great. I give you a list of non-alcoholic drinks and things that you can do on dates if you're dating that don't involve alcohol. And for 30 days, I'll make sure you don't drink, and that way you can get an idea of what it feels like. And then on day 30, a lot of people will continue not to drink, and then a lot of people will also return to drinking, but at a far reduced rate than compared with when they first started the challenge. So if you want to reduce your alcohol or you want to quit entirely, just go to 30daynoalcoholchallenge.com.
30daynoalcoholchallenge.com. Awesome. I'm going to put that in the show notes for you guys because I highly suggest you go into it, especially when like you said, you need that support, because James always says change happens around people, and you can say, yeah, I'm going to do it and I'm going to try it, and it's easy for you to try and do it by yourself, but if you've got that influence there of other people, that's especially in Australia, trying to pressure you into drinking or trying to, there's just things that are going to come up. If you've got that social support group that James offers, it's really going to help you out.
Yeah, and there's a famous book called Habit by Charles Duhigg, and he says change occurs amongst other people. It's like for some reason, the human mind is designed to want accountability and want to do things with others. So, don't rely on brute willpower alone. Don't try to do it yourself. Get into a welcoming community of other people, of other social drinkers who are wanting to quit alcohol for a time, and get their support, get their encouragement, and do it together. It's like when I was at the F45 gym yesterday morning, Tyson. It's like part of the reason why everyone was in there was because they were doing it with other people, because there are stations that you move to. There are 12 different exercises, and on each station you're with at least one other person, and you're doing it together. And I remember in the last 5 minutes when I was like, I was huffing and puffing, I kept saying to myself, come on, James, come on, pushing myself. And then the girl who was doing it next to me started giggling. And at the end of it, she said, wow, you saying that really inspired me, because I was about to give up then. But hearing you encourage yourself really encouraged me. So thank you. And by the way, Tyson, if you're a guy listening to this, when I went to F45 yesterday, I was the only man in a class of 25 women.
Wow.
I know, even the instructor was a woman. It was like, Jesus. I was like, is this like a male-female class? Did I come into the wrong class? But no. So if you're a single guy, I'll tell you, hit those group classes.
Go to F45 or go to yoga and you're winning.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Okay, and so one last thing I want to talk to you about, James, is you do own that sleep company, and I want to find out more about, like, what are some things you do to obviously make sure you get the best night's rest so far?
Yeah, well, I'll start with what I do first thing in the morning, which can impact how you sleep at night, and then I'll finish throughout the day. So awesome. First thing in the morning, I'll try to get direct sunlight. I'll open the blinds, I'll go onto the balcony, I'll just try to get the sun literally hit my face and my skin. And the reason I do that is because we all have an internal body clock called a circadian rhythm. And when you expose yourself to sunlight in the morning, you're essentially telling your circadian rhythm, it's officially daytime. It's daytime. Now, what that's going to do is later on at nighttime, because your body already knew what time you first exposed it to light, it's going to want to naturally start producing melatonin and getting sleepy and preparing for sleep towards about 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock that night. So what I won't do is wake up and stay inside and not get light and then go outside like 2 hours later, because then my circadian rhythm is being pushed back 2 hours. So first thing in the morning, definitely get direct sunlight onto your body. Of course, we talked about exercise. I'll exercise regularly in the morning, which will help me sleep later on at night. I'll eat well throughout the day. And then at nighttime, obviously I don't drink, but if you do drink, studies show that if you drink alcohol in the last 3 hours before you go to sleep, your sleep will be compromised. So stop drinking alcohol. If you want to sleep at like 11, don't have a drink after 8. Sugary foods, you shouldn't be eating anyway, but if you do, same thing. If you eat that in the last 3 hours before sleep, that's going to spike your insulin levels. Your body's going to have to work to break it down. The quality of your sleep will be compromised. If you stare into your cell phone and you're scrolling through Instagram, if you watch television, like maybe you're watching Game of Thrones on HBO on a Sunday night, if you are on your computer working late at night, if you brush your teeth in the bathroom light, like we all do, then you are exposing your eyes to an artificial blue light, which is used to light up those electronic displays and which is being emitted from the light bulbs in most of your the rooms in your home. And what that blue light does at nighttime is that it tricks your brain into thinking that it's daytime, which means your body, your circadian rhythm, which is an internal body clock, still thinks that it's daytime, even though it's clearly nighttime. And what this means is that your body does not produce melatonin, which means you do not prepare for sleep, which means you have trouble falling asleep, you toss and turn in the night, and you wake up feeling tired, even if you've had 7 or 8 hours sleep. So what I do is I wear a pair of blue light blocking glasses. The orange lens on these blue light blocking glasses blocks out the blue light from your electronics. The color orange is the exact opposite of the color blue, which means blue light cannot penetrate those orange lenses, which means I can continue scrolling through Instagram and Facebook on my phone. I can continue watching television. I can continue to sit in the bathroom light or the kitchen light at nighttime, protect my eyes, my body starts to produce melatonin, I start to feel sleepy, and then just when I turn off the last light, I remove my glasses, and then I'm able to sleep as well as I possibly could sleep throughout the night.
So being able to manage all that external light through these blue blocking glasses has obviously given you a better night's rest. And I've actually got myself a pair too, because I realized that you don't realize the poor quality of sleep that you're actually having until you put on these glasses, because you haven't experienced it before. And this is like why I wanted to bring James on, because having a better night's sleep is so essential for having better long-term health and fitness, and also being more productive during the day too.
Well, look, I don't go to sleep at night ever now without first wearing my blue light blocking glasses. And I've created a pair called Swannies from my company, Swanwick Sleep. And we've had thousands of customers around the world now who've been reporting that their sleep has improved dramatically, because in the last hour or hour and a half before they go to sleep, they put on these Swannies blue light blocking glasses, and it blocks out the blue light, and they're able to sleep considerably better throughout the night. So last night, Tyson, now I'm back in Brisbane. You'll definitely be too young for this, but there was a TV series in the 1980s, in 1985 actually, called The Henderson Kids. Have you heard of it?
No, never.
No, never. You're too young. So when I was 10 years old, there was a TV show on Channel 10, on Network 10, called The Henderson Kids. And I'm just a bit nostalgic at the moment. So in the last half hour before I go to sleep, I actually go onto YouTube and I type in Henderson Kids, and I watch the old episodes from 30 years ago. Literally 32 years ago, I'm watching this show just for, I reminisce about, hanging out with my brothers in the Brisbane suburb of Coorparoo and watching this show. And it's just a fun little thing I do to wind down at the end of the night. But I literally lie in bed watching it on my iPhone 7, wearing a pair of blue light blocking glasses. The screen is only like, a foot away from my face, but because I'm wearing the blue light blocking glasses, the Swannies blue light blocking glasses, I'm able to watch that show and protect my eyes and make sure that when finally I stop the show and I put the phone down and I take the glasses off, that I sleep soundly through the night. And last night I got 7 beautiful quality hours of sleep, and I woke up and I went to the gym, to Anytime Fitness. I came back and now I'm speaking to you and I feel great. So definitely protect your eyes at nighttime from that artificial blue light if you want to sleep well.
Awesome. And so that's they can go to swanicsleep.com for that one, James?
Yes, if you go to Swanwick Sleep, now I'll spell Swanwick because it's spelled Swanwick, so it's SWANWICK sleep.com, even though it's pronounced Swanwick. The second W is silent. In America, in particular, Tyson, where we sell most of the glasses, the Americans don't know how to. They don't understand a silent W, so I always say Swanwick Sleep, even though it's actually Swanwick Sleep.
So it's swanwicksleep.com, and that's where they can have a look. Is that for Australians can buy off that website too, can't they?
Yeah, they can. Australians can buy off there as well. We deliver worldwide, yes.
Excellent. I've got myself a pair, guys, and I still wear them every night. And the best thing about them is they actually look trendy too, because I don't want to wear the other style of blue blockers and look like a speed yellow while I'm training my clients in the gym at 8 o'clock at night. So I do have a pair of Swanwicks because they're stylish and they bloody work, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, thank you, Tyson. One of the reasons why I designed them to be stylish was the same reason. I'm just vain enough that I didn't want to look like a meth chemist, wearing those really ugly orange sort of Uvex glasses, So ours are very stylish, and I think we got a cool brand, called Swannies, and it's taken off definitely over in the US and Australia and the UK and Germany. And Arnold Schwarzenegger wears a pair. Game of Thrones actors wear some glasses. We've got a lot of fitness people and health enthusiasts. New York Times best-selling authors and health experts wear a pair of glasses as well. And it's if you're really looking for all-around health, your sleep is such a critical component of that. If you're not sleeping well, then you're not making gains in the gym. You're not burning as much fat. You're not as happy. You don't have clarity. You don't have focus. Everything starts to suffer. So yeah, definitely protect your eyes from that blue light with a pair of Swannies blue light blocking glasses.
Absolutely. And so, James, I really appreciate you actually coming on today, sharing with us some of the principles you have when it comes to exercise, enjoying your life around, eating food you still enjoy, but making sure you're optimizing it for your happiness, and basically how you structure your day and how people can become more healthy and fit, even if they've got a busy lifestyle like they do yourself. So before you go, can you just tell us a little bit more about where we can find more about what you're doing?
Well, if you want to improve your sleep, then definitely go to swanwicksleep.com. We've got a whole lot of sleep products there. Everything is natural. Like, I don't sell or produce anything that I don't 100% believe in. So we have a 100% pure silk sleeping mask, which is also really important to block out light throughout the night. We have a sleep supplement called Better Nights, which is all natural ingredients, which will help to build melatonin as well. And then, of course, the Swannies blue light blocking glasses. So you can find that at swanwicksleep.com. And then if you're interested in quitting drinking for 30 days and me helping you with that, you can go to 30daynoalcoholchallenge.com. If you're interested in selling your own physical products on Amazon, my brother Tristan and I have just started some Australian training where we coach Australians. You can go to australianamazontraining.com. And then the James Swanwick Show podcast in iTunes. You should definitely subscribe to that and listen in. I do some pretty cool interviews and talk about my life and my travels there. And if all of that else fails, you can go to jamesswanwick.com and I'll send you some of my biggest productivity hacks and ways that I optimize my life.
Awesome. Guys, I have got all that written down in the show notes, so you've got plenty of places to find James. If you want to get a better, healthy lifestyle, if you want to quit alcohol, if you want a better night's sleep, then this is the guy who's going to help you do that. So James, once again, thank you so much for coming on today. I really appreciate it. Guys, I hope you have a great day. Take some of these action points, start taking care of your health and fitness, and I'll speak to you next time. Hey, thanks for listening to the podcast. I really appreciate it. Now, I've got a special gift for you. If you want to learn how I managed to lose 10 kilos and keep it off, then I've got the perfect treat for you. I've got a free intermittent fasting cheat sheet that I share on my website that shows you exactly how to diet effortlessly with intermittent fasting and fit it into your busy lifestyle. And more importantly, this is the exact guide that I follow every single day that allowed me to lose 10 kilos of body fat and keep it off 4 years later. So head on over to www.tysonbrown.com.au and pick up your free cheat sheet today and learn how to fit intermittent fasting into your life and diet effortlessly. Once again, that's www.tysonbrown.com.au. Opt in for the free cheat sheet and I'm going to send it straight to your inbox for free. Until next time, speak to you guys then.